All right, and we are live.
All right.
All right. Well, let me do my little spiel. All right. Well, everyone, welcome to Through the Portal. Here we step across the threshold into vision, creativity, and the deeper stories waiting to emerge. And today I have Ed Zaydelman with me. And yeah, I think let's just jump right in.
Let's do it, Maria.
Yeah. So why don't you talk a little bit what about yourself and your work and what's kind of alive right now in yeah, in what you do.
Sure, sure. First, really grateful that I get to jump on with you because we're in a community together. It's Sacred Business, and so very grateful to Phil and Carolina for connecting us and helping me get on Substack in the first place and other channels
Mm-hmm.
to share my work. And yeah, I think, when I saw kind of the opportunity pop up to chat with you, I was like, oh, what's relevant to me now? And what's my story? Who am I relevant to now? And so, yeah, in a short, my background is I'm the son of Soviet immigrants who moved to America. And then right during my college years, I had quit my job. My father had quit his job. My family had focused on health for a number of reasons because we were worn out, uh, polluted heavy metals, and my grandpa that year got cancer. So we looked at, wow, we need to change the way we eat, live, and that sparked an adventure I didn't expect of creating a place for that way of life for our family and for others, and looked around the world, and Costa Rica was that home. No army, incredible nature, incredible people, high education rates, and it was really a canvas to paint a way of life that humans can thrive with clean food, communities, sustainability. So, yeah, I embarked with my family on a journey to create an eco village and retreat center for healing. And I was starry-eyed, and I'll tell you more of the story later. It didn't go as I planned, and now I help other people either do that or not do that and do something that's more aligned with them. But the whole time I was going on this adventure, my real why was who am I and why am I here? I always was curious and meeting spiritual teachers and starting to, always read books on, the classics of spirituality and wisdom and philosophy. And yeah, I was very hungry for figuring out like why I'm here and what's my purpose. And the second why for me was also what does community look like in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was a nightclub promoter, then retreat organizer, and I've always brought people together. So for me to not be alone in this journey and look at what are the forms of community. It started as like being hungry for eco-village life, but
Mm-hmm.
I kept seeing in spiritual communities, eco-village communities, the thing I was looking for really wasn't there. Um, it was close. Burning Man, I worked there for a year after college. It was like, okay, so this is community and people work together, but for a week when there's music and drugs, nothing wrong. It was the coolest thing. I got to experience art and sharing and bartering, but like it wasn't the full scope of what I had imagined. And when I got to Costa Rica, I was like, oh, it's going to be eco villages. I had studied Damanhur and Finhorn and all these places, and that really wasn't it. Like we could build the infrastructure, but I didn't see humans connecting together in the invisible. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then one year after my dark night of the soul, when I closed my retreat center and had a divorce and I couldn't do it anymore, it was running me to the ground. The business, the groups, I was tired. And I took a walk about when everything seemed like it was collapsing. A hotel group took over my place. And, I'd realized that this wasn't the life I wanted to live. And I met a woman named Ronit Hersfeld who really kind of challenged me in the beginning. Like I was very curious about her, but also like a little bit triggering. And we had gotten together and I learned about what the work she does at a organization called Leap Forward. Ooh, I hope the stream is working. Uh, okay, looks like it's streaming. Hopefully it is. Um, and yeah, and essentially I joined a community of diverse individuals from around the world. Uh-oh,
Well,
I
we
lost you.
were,
I
yeah,
don't know.
but, but I think we're still on.
Okay, yeah, it
Sorry,
shows me on.
I don't know when it cut off. I did think it was on my side, so
Okay. Yeah,
um,
I'll just recap briefly that the big part of my journey that takes me to now regarding community and humans is that um, I was very interested myself in evolving in the community context, and I'd met a group called Leap Forward and a woman named Ronit Hersfeld, who was not a guru, who did not have a paid program to join, but did offer a very diverse community with the practices of intense relating, rubbing, getting at our deepest inner wounds and childhood traumas and together rewiring to show each other that these traumas, most of them don't exist in today's reality, yet we
mhm,
respond to them. Why that matters for me now is it's not just about permaculture or helping people heal. The world's in a really fragile place. We're killing coral reefs and ecosystems. We're killing each other in wars. And we're acting with wiring that was around when we needed to survive. And now that's not the case so much. We're in a thriving time with Amazon, not saber-toothed tigers. So I was
mhm,
really interested for myself and to share with others, how can I rewire all these things and these patterns that have held me back and are, some cases, limiting me from really sharing my light. So part of it is to discover myself, but also to share that light with others and try to impact even one person that I work with or
mhm,
my day. Not about changing the world, always. So yeah, most of my motivation, whether it's in my client work with people who are wanting to build eco villages and retreats, to friends, is really helping share with them the tools that I've had that can help us thrive and evolve together. And in my area of expertise, if people do choose to build a crazy land stewardship project, I really want to give them the resources so they've really thought it out well, every detail, and
mhm.
avoid certain mistakes that I make. So yeah, that's my intro.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is you've shifted a little bit from helping people with retreats. Well, you still do that, but
Mhm.
it's more about the inner landscape or um the why behind it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can maybe dive into that a little bit more. Because yeah, you help people do these projects, but what have you seen that surfaces a lot, you know, when people come to you, where it's kind of takes maybe an unexpected route or, something that is important to you, that you think it's important, to pass on or to, um, you know, to do, to be of service in that area. Yeah.
yeah, that's a great question. So I work with different kinds of people. Some are families who already have a piece of land or buying a small piece of land to do a retreat center or a small neighborhood of homes for their friends and family. Others are investors looking to start this from scratch and they have a big vision. Most of my work in the beginning on the inner landscape is, yeah, really to understand what is their vision. Oh, okay, she really wants to create a healing center. Wow, this person really is more into, they want to create a community. Mm, they say it's this size, but are they really sure that that's how big they want to go? 90 homes, you know? And so a lot of my work is helping them get their vision on paper and how it maps to their life. Because I have people who are like, oh, my relationship with my kids is strained and I work a lot. I'm like, cool. And so you want to add building an eco village to that? So either you're going to quit your job or your kids, you can't quit your kids. So it doesn't work. And a lot of my clients don't really map like what they want in life, their life map. And we do that all the way down to the schedule from month to
Mhm.
year, week, day. And I show them where the things fit in real life the same way it was done for me with Leap Forward, with Phil's help. I map everything throughout the year, month down to see, am I being realistic? And am I aligned to my vision? And then I can ask myself questions like, whoa, maybe I need to build just a house for my family in Costa Rica or wherever, not a whole retreat center. And then I'm like, cool, and that could be a cool rental property that hosts retreats still. Doesn't mean you give up on the vision, but you get real with it. And you have a real strategy and you start to do the research to understand where and really go slow. Most of my work is in pre-development, so we're looking at vision and strategy and walking land and having architects and topographers weigh in. But before all of that, it's really getting clear with the clients and the people I work with. And that's the biggest mistake is somebody bought something or started something without clarity. The other mistake is human related, like meaning they chose a partnership that was not wise or an investor that doesn't match the DNA, and now they're forced to hustle. So
Mhm.
in many cases, all these early stage things, like if someone said their strategy was to have a really impactful let's say permaculture school and retreat, and they have an investor who wants to earn top dollar 20% a year, I would tell them that's not going to work. That person should stay on Wall Street or tech. You need to set the
Mhm.
criteria to find an aligned partner who's okay with less return or no return because they care about what you're doing. So yeah, these were a lot of the things that I wish I knew too, because the more I would have honed in on my vision and on what I wanted to do with clarity and really mapped it out and the steps needed, the easier it would have been. I'll put it that way. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, it's kind of a shortish answer. Yeah, and oh, by the way, you did ask like on the internal landscape. The stuff I do at Leap Forward is all of the stuff that I would bring to a psychologist or to a best friend together. And so most of the things that inhibit my success in a venture and in my clients is actually personal life related. They're really stressed out about something with their girlfriend or wife or at work or wherever. So if we don't go into the personal, the project's gonna fail. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
I ask them really tough questions about money and budget and motivation and why, and it's as much for me a journey with them because I get to look at that as well. Um, so yeah, I think it's really important there. It's not really, I'm starting to see, I should say, that there's not really a division between the work I do in my nonprofit life. I spend half my time as a member of the core team at Leap Forward in the community, and I spend half my time supporting land projects, pro bono
Mhm.
and for cash. I always try to give and serve, and so once, twice a year, I have some beautiful projects that are for schools and social impact stuff and education. So yeah, but this is kind of the wholeness of my life is those
Mhm.
things. There's not really like a Chinese wall or whatever. Yeah, my clients call me late at night, like Ed, like the market crashed. Why am I in this or whatever? I'm in a divorce and I can't share this, but it's stressing me. Oh
Mhm.
my God, okay, yes, share it with me, at least if you can't share it with someone else. So uh,
Mhm.
we have a member of our community, Josh, with the sobriety work that he does in A. A lot of my clients,
Mhm.
that's a big, and same in my life has been something I've worked through. So all of that, and I'm working through. It's not a process that begins and ends. Um,
Yeah.
so all those things, yeah, it's one big soup.
Yeah, for sure. Let me touch on something. I wanted to touch on something that
Yeah.
has been kind of stuck in my mind. So when you talked about kind of your journey, one thing that stuck out was this, where you were saying like you were
Oh, I lost you. Hmm. Please stand by if you can hear me. We're back.
Um,
I paused.
where I got, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Luckily, it comes right back, which is really nice because, um, yeah, yeah, and it seems like it's still streaming. I
Teaches
can see.
patience.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so
okay.
you were asking,
Um, yeah, so this aspect, this community aspect, and where you were saying like the retreat or the thing, like it's just not quite what the thing that you think, you that's not quite there. That makes sense.
Mhm.
So, and I'm wondering, how does that flow into your work with clients? Like, how does that, because it seems like it's something that obviously you were exploring and something that was a big mm, lesson to be learned or, to look into for you personally. So is this something that you work with clients as well? I mean, if they're, wanted to put a land project somewhere, like you were mentioning the impactful permaculture learning center, and then, how does this tie in with community? Because I could see that if you just go somewhere and put it there, and then everyone around it is really not interested in the community or in the permaculture, or it has a completely different lifestyle, and you have no connection to the people that live around that center, and
Yeah.
that I could see that of being a big uh, impact on the project, on the success of the project, or on the
And on the community, the
on the
local.
community too. Yeah, the local community as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also learning this because this is a very, let's call it like people are evolving and innovating to learn how to cooperate. So there's not like yeah, there's books and things, but the reality when I studied regenerative development with the Regenesis Institute and Bill Reed, and when I look at groups like Leap Forward and Ronit Herzfeld, um, all of them are coming at the same angle of build relationships between human and self, human and human, human and environment. These are all nested holes, human and other humans in that environment and ecosystem, living things. So when I look at that and what does that mean practically, it means having conversations and relationships with people. It means taking a lot of time. Everyone rushes these projects. My friend Talia and Arnell has been there 2 years getting to know the community. The only land movement she's done is put her garden in, you know? So don't rush this. Nature is slow and yet gets everything accomplished, as Renee mentions to me. So take the time, and so I take time with people to investigate, talk to local families, farmers, community members, schools, um, but really you're asking a bigger question beneath this, okay? And the biggest thing that I have to deal with in myself and my clients is the fear of being alone. Community can't come from fear.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm afraid I'm being alone since childhood and I become a nightclub promoter, which I did, and then went to Burning Man, all these people around me, it's great. I feel so good. But what's really behind that? That I'm afraid of being alone? And what's the authentic connections? And so yeah, if I'm working with my clients and I see that they want this because they're afraid of survival or being alone and they need this around them, it's not a healthy formula. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think that with a group of people, when I interact, there's such a, even in our WhatsApp groups on Sacred Business Flow or in my local communities, there's a beautiful exchange, I'm there in service and support to be in truth and reflect to my friends' reality, and they do it back to me. And so what I learn at Leap Forward, I do with my clients. I sometimes tell them shit they don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
like really deep stuff. I mean, I go probably where certain family members and accountants don't venture and coaches. It's part of my
Mm-hmm.
work because it's not my work. It's who I am. I care about people and I need to know like what are the intricacies of what's driving their decisions. And in community, I try to show them healthy community. Go to your local market, buy food, exchange with people, have friends that you really call out and stand for. Be in touch with any kind of service you could do for a school or community garden in your neighborhood. Like get to meet people and ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Be curious. Like, what do you need? Sometimes people are like, oh, I'm going to build this eco village here. It's going to save the world. That local community didn't need your fucking eco village, bro. They were just fine. They needed a new soccer field and community center. You know, people go into things of gentrification and neo-colonization that I won't touch on today because it's away from, I think, the heart-centered convo that we're having.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, yeah, really, it's the thing I need every day to be accountable with my friends is, yeah, am I centered? Am I clear on what am I doing, why I'm doing it, and being reflected
Mm-hmm.
when I'm off my path. So yeah, I really do feel we're all walking each other home, and whether you're my friend or client or someone I'm supporting in some way, um, it's all the same, you know. We go
Yeah.
through the quicksand together.
Yeah. No, and that is also part of healthy community because, just if you're building a project, just, we were talking about, having partners that you align with, but then you also kind of have to think about what does community mean? Community also means that you are okay with dealing and working with people that you might not be aligned with 100%, you know, and the same with, the ecosystem around your village. Like, yeah, I think that's a very important aspect. At least that's what I feel for, the success of something like that. Yeah. So I think that makes perfect sense to really go deep there and uncover these kind of things. Yeah, I love
And
that you
I,
do that.
I will mention also, like, and you might have this in your friend groups. I get a lot of people who come recently, like, oh, we're a group of 4 friends. We don't want to build a whole community or eco village or retreat. We want to get a cool house that we could all co-live and rent when we're not using it and have as this kind of Airbnb thing. And even there, the community of 4 to 6 stakeholders making decisions and agreements, that's often where there's a lot of conflict. They're friends when they snowboard, but when it comes down to divvying up weeks or profit, so a lot of that's where fun stuff emerges. I'll call it like that. And clear agreements are important, whether in business or in Leap Forward in our community. We have a clear set of values and agreements that if you're not aligned, don't join. Or if you become unaligned, you could leave at some point. If you're like, yeah, I don't vibe with that. I'm not showing up that way,
Hmm.
or I don't like that value. But it's really cool. We sign it. And one of the,
Hmm.
it's truth and integrity and transparency. And there are things where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm being 100% transparent. That means I got to share that. And
Hmm.
usually the things that are the that's that I don't want to share are very indicative of where my growth is, my next
Hmm. Hmm.
stage, my fear. Um, yeah, I guess because if we're going to evolve in some way, shape, or form, we step into the unknown and it's scary. New projects, new people, new relationships. And the cool thing is with community, I'm not alone. Yes, life is hard and whatever, but I'm safe unless like literally like a tiger is chasing you. I'm sorry. But most often in a survival sense, I'm safe and I'm not alone. And those are the two things I have to keep repeating to myself because my wiring here is from old shit where I felt like a lonely kid who, was
Hmm.
abandoned or this. I'm not being like as examples, but yeah, my fear of not being good enough and not being worthy made me try to do big projects. And I see friends and colleagues doing that now, and I'm like, what's that for? Because you could make the same amount of money and have more peace doing something chill. And so I see myself in other people and also have compassion, because I was there.
Uh-oh.
We're back, I hear you. We might still be streaming, but I'll pause until I see you move. The pause is good. Usually like 20 seconds of lag or 30 seconds, so let's see. I'm
But
getting used to it now. The
yeah,
same amount of time.
the internet
Yeah.
is interneting today. Hmm.
Yeah. So that was it. I pretty much paused there. Yeah.
No, this is good. Yeah, I think this is also a good point if we want to move into um, kind of diving a little bit more into your inner space of this work and this vision you have with your service and your life, like diving into that more in the subconscious, inner, or symbolic way. So that's kind of what I do with my work as an
Yeah.
artist, combining this more energetic or symbolic level, mm, and guiding people there, connecting to that, and then bringing it out in form of art. So it's kind of this anchor to this different layer of knowing, right? That's how I would describe it, because you have your cerebral, you have your thinking, you have your strategic, and then you have different layers underneath it, or beneath it, not beneath it, but like aside of it, like they're not, one is better than the other, I think. And it makes it more holistic to go into these other levels and to go into these other ways of knowing and perceiving, right? So I hope the internet doesn't cut out during the meditation. And
All
if
good.
it does,
We'll be
it's
meditating.
really a lot longer. Then you have a very long pause for breathing.
Beautiful. Thanks.
All right, let's get let's get comfy. Mm. Let's just sit down and close your eyes, however you want. Just we'll start out with a little bit of grounding and relaxation to get into this moment and into your body. Just breathe wherever feels comfortable. Just kind of focus on the connection to the ground, your feet on the ground, yourself on the chair, feeling that gravitational pull, earth holding us always. It's just always there. We can rely on that. And just feel in your body if there's any areas that feel tight. Breathe in and breathe out into those areas to relax them down. Let the shoulders drop. There's nothing you need to do right now. Just be here in this space, in this moment. Nothing to worry about before, nothing to worry about after. And just inhabit this space and time. And then I want you to put your attention on your heart space. You can put your hand there or just your attention. And imagine breathing in energy from all around you into that space. When you breathe out, just feel it glowing and growing. The energy in your heart, the love, the connection, the passion in that space. And from there, just imagine a gentle channel forming from your heart all the way up to the space between your brows. And you have a gentle flow of energy going there. And breathe into that space, space of vision, knowing, seeing truth. And this gentle channel back and forth in your heart, the place between your brows, and back to your heart, connecting your love and passion and connection to your visions and knowing. And then from that place of knowing and vision, let's channel the energy into a portal. So imagine a portal or archway or doorway created from that energy forming in front of you in your inner space. And this is the doorway to the space, your inner space of vision, where the knowing of your vision, the transformation, your path and purpose lives. When you're ready, I want you to go through the portal into that space. Let it surround you. This is your special space. And we just want to experience it with all our senses. Let's start with smell today. If this place had any smells, what would you smell? And if there's nothing, that's okay. Sense of smell is something that we do associate a lot of things with it, but maybe this doesn't apply for this. And then I want you to shift to hearing. Imagine any sounds of this inner vision space, your path. Is there anything you can hear? And what about touch or feeling? Can you feel anything in the space? How does the air feel? Temperature? Maybe there's a breeze or not. Maybe you can feel something that is close by, any textures. How does this feel? And last but not least, let's really explore this space with seeing, with vision. How does this look like? What symbols or things, living or not, appear in this space? What's nearby? What's close and what's far away in the distance? Is there anyone with you? Do you feel a specific way about any of these things that appear? What kind of colors do you see? Shapes, colors, maybe there's movement. And then I want you to imagine that this space has a voice, a message for you. What would it tell you? What is the message? And it might be words, it might be a feeling, it might just be one word, something that appears from this, that emanates from the space. And I know it's probably a nice space to stay in for a while and explore even more. But I want you to prepare yourself to come back. Thank the space. Say goodbye, knowing you can come back anytime. And slowly come back through the portal into your body. And you can wriggle your fingers a little bit and open your eyes. All right, we're back. All right. I will switch my camera to my speaker and then we can talk about what emerged for you. Now I can see here. That's good. A little bit blurry here.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Guide me through this.
Well, why don't you share some of the things that kind of maybe the process of when you walk through it into the space,
Mm-hmm.
what What did you experience? How did it feel like? What did you see? What did you hear?
Sure,
And if there was a message, so just kind of share what happened.
sure. I'm actually gonna close my eyes so I could go back there
Hmm.
a little. And yeah, I remember walking through the portal was like an old door, like in a tree, and it was purple. Um, and when I stepped through it, I was in this kind of garden like space, and I felt colors. I think you said something about colors, and there was like an overall brightness, almost like sunshine, like light. Um, there was the color blue, like blue sky. And everything was really brilliant, like vibrant. All there was trees and grass and little butterflies, and it felt kind of like my garden, my safe space. Um, yeah, and I remembered this one part. I'm trying to think about it. I heard a message that said, "Be bold." Um, that was the message that I heard. Um, and I felt like I saw, like, not very descript, but like a future or older version of myself, like becoming who I'm meant to become. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, kind of felt like stepping into the now, but like timeless, extended back and forward. Um, yeah, and there was a little river. There was a really cool tree, like a banyan tree. There was grass. Remember butterfly and hummingbird? It's kind of like my backyard, actually. And yeah, also just a feeling of like warmth and light. I think I said that, but it wasn't just like the color. It also felt like aliveness, like source energy. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and a feeling of like comfort and safety.
Hmm.
Mm,
Just drawing some flowers too.
I think that's all I got for you. Was there a part of it that you asked that I missed?
No, I think that's pretty much it. So we have, it was a garden.
Hmm.
Now tell me a little bit more about some feelings. Like,
Yeah.
did you have any smells?
Yeah.
Anything that, you said it felt safe.
Safe.
Was there anything else?
Yeah, it felt like alive. You know, like how like the energy of the sun makes a plant feel alive. Like I felt
Mm-hmm.
aliveness. Um, yeah, the be bold, I felt like motivation, uh,
Mm-hmm.
like excitement and motivation, um, and potential. And then I didn't hear much except the wind, and I don't think my smell was very active. I'll be honest there in that part of my senses. Yeah, alive, safe, um, like quiet and peaceful, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, peace. Um, Oh, I forgot the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
I I felt not separate, like from everything I described to you. Like I felt one with my garden.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I felt, yeah, togetherness or oneness, not alone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that I'm part of something larger. Mm.
What do you think this means for you and your work?
Hmm.
Seems like you're very aligned, right?
Wow, I didn't think this would work for me because I was like, how's this gonna work? Not in a pessimistic sense. I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm not so like I don't draw. But this is interesting because now when I see it, yeah, I know exactly what it means. It's what I've been looking at this week, is to not be afraid of stepping into the unknown at work
Hmm.
in my personal life, to be bold, to step into the unknown, even if I'm afraid, because I feel alive and uh, um, and I feel purpose and motivation, and versus staying in my comfort zone and doing things I know. So this is a message for me to step through the portal of my possibility and an invitation, yeah, to to live boldly, to live fully, not be afraid. Yeah, so cool. I love this. You're good, Maria. You good.
Thank you. There, it's your. Let me see if I can.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
I just want to cover this one a little bit because, yeah, this might help. One second. There we go. There we go.
Cool.
There's your garden. Oh, I forgot one thing. These butterflies kind of look like flowers right now.
Yeah. Maybe we throw in a hummingbird, just one. They're so good.
Oh yeah,
Li-
hummingbird. How do I do that and best?
Little
Which
guardian of the garden.
which color? I'll put him here. I don't know. He's kind of small.
Could be symbolic, Maria, don't worry.
No, no, that's okay. Okay, I'm just trying to.
There she
Right,
is.
this is the hummingbird.
Love it. Oh, you did great for a little hummingbird. That's incredible.
He's flying
Very cool.
there.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, yeah. So how does that feel? Does that bring that do you feel like there's some more clarity around kind of your work?
I think more than clarity, is the word confirmation because I didn't know what would come up in the meditation. And of course, the thing that came up was the one thing I've been feeling into today and yesterday and in my present moment now. So
Hmm.
there was kind of like a surprise, but of course, also, like, oh, I
Hmm.
can't believe this came up. And they're like, of course, man, of course that came up. So that's very cool. And it's related to stepping into new projects and things that scare me because I don't know how to do certain things, um, building an app and working in nonprofit space and reading complex articles and in psychology, and yeah, all of this is stuff that stretches me and it might not be comfortable, but neither is going for a run at 7 a.m., but I know it's there to get me healthy and yeah, so this feels really good.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean it's kind of, if you think about your body and your intuition or your subconscious knowing these things, right? Um, it's also kind of telling you that already know that you can do this, right? You don't have to be afraid. You can relax.
Yes.
You can relax into it. So
That's the
yeah,
piece, right?
that's the piece.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your work and what you do. I think it's very beautiful.
Thanks.
One thing that always that I've noticed, it's kind of a pattern of these inner spaces, is there's a lot of time is it's very nature connected.
Mm,
Like very rarely is there not anything nature in these inner spaces that people have. So
it's
that's really cool.
well, we are nature.
We are nature.
It's one of the letters that are part of Dear Future Human. But when I say no separation, I'm starting to kind of feel that more than just read it in books, like where I was like, oh, I'm one with everything. But I'm really starting to feel in my day-to-day life less and less separation and more
Hmm.
oneness. Even in Judaism, I'm not very religious, but there's the core prayer, the Shema. It's like the one prayer to remember, and you, you know, it is it, and I am one with it. I really am one with this external reality, and as I start to feel that, like when I see the sunlight hit the banana tree in my yard, I feel the same life force that goes through my body. And it's not some hippie shit. It's like a real evidence for me of like, wow, I'm not as separate. And my breath is the
Hmm.
tree's inhale, as my friend Ronit says. And their exhale is my inhale. So, so cool. Like, not to over spiritualize it, but actually look at the practicality of our
Hmm.
interdependence with nature.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, it really is. Like we're all connected, and without it, we wouldn't exist,
yeah.
right?
By the way, I talked about some cool stuff that I'll share with you the links if people want to read more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely. Then I think when I do the the summary and the post about it, I'll ask you about the links that
Awesome.
of the things that came up
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I
Happy
don't
to
quite
share.
remember all of them right now,
No,
so
it's
I have
just
to revisit. But
yeah,
yes, I
pretty
will
simple.
definitely want to share all of those things. Yeah, and
Yeah, they're
things
good
to
tools.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me. I wanted to see if there's any. Let me just do this for a second. I wanted to see if there's any questions. Um, and I know there's a little bit of a lag, so people can actually ask. While we wait for that, anything else you wanted to say?
Yeah, I would just tell people that if they have interest in any of the stuff we talked about today, reach out to me. I put a lot of stuff out in my newsletter, my Substack. I try to give as much as I can for free, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I always share stuff from Leap Forward and Dear Future Human. That's the publication. I also share that on Substack. Um, so yeah, my thing is being able to share anything that's helped me thrive in business or personal or any life. So yeah, I think that's the last thing is don't hesitate to reach out, check out some of the resources. They're for you, not me. Well, they're for me too. And yeah, I also just wanted to say thank you for having me on. It's really fun to talk with you, and you have such a good heart and energy. And you have
Thank
that
you.
artist, what is it, right brain and left brain thing so good. I'm like typically right brain, but today to go into the left a bit and into the creative has been
Mm-hmm.
awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a big thing for me, the right left brain connection. For most of my career, I've been very left brain. So I'm glad, like I think maybe 7 years ago, I reconnected to the left brain and the creative side. And yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, it was a
yeah.
refreshing I definitely would say it was one of the most unique things I've been on. So I was like, we're
Thanks.
gonna meditate, and then I'm like, I get to meditate like on a call. I just close my eyes and get delicious. So thank you.
Yep. Why not?
Why
It's
not?
life, right? Yeah. And this is, I think this is also a really good way to get to know you, you know? So, it gives people a good insight that are watching more of what's underneath. I think. Yeah, I'm really grateful that you joined. That was fun, and always love talking about what you're doing and
Thanks,
so much
Maria.
cool stuff.
Yeah, and if people have
Yeah, I
questions
don't
after, they could put in the comments. I'll answer
like.
too if they weren't here. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't see anything right now, but yeah, I'll definitely post a summary and then and the replay, and then people can ask questions and contact you.
sweet. And I will share it on my Substack too and with my people.
Awesome. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Maria.
Bye.
Bye.